Now, as I get to this hospital, here's where it gets real interesting, sort of, kind of. What ends up happening is it's Sunday. From that Thursday, no, I guess from that Friday to that, no. Yeah, from that Friday, because I got there on a Thursday. So that whole Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I don't have my glasses. And like for the majority of the day, Sunday, I don't have my glasses. I can't see shit. The TV is pretty far away. So watching Adult Swim was the only time like I could enjoy TV because everything that plays on Adult Swim I've seen 100 times. So I didn't need to be able to see the TV to know what was going on. So Sunday, I it was really weird. And I just want just like I'm about to flex. So just know that real quick. I can't see the TV. The TV is about 6, 7, 8 feet away. And it's on the wall, the upper part of the wall. I'm on Adult Swim. I'm like not on Adult Swim, but I'm on like Cartoon Network. And I'm looking at the TV. And it's like the start of a movie. Because like Acme Movie Night is technically Adult Swim. And I'm looking at this movie, and it's the very beginning. And I'm like, this looks familiar. I know what this is. And it's just dark. There's like people running around with flashlights. And I go to myself, is this Mortal Kombat? It's Mortal Kombat. Turns out I can identify Mortal Kombat without my glasses on, from a distance without my glasses on. And like while this is happening, I'm in the process of like, I got like one of the nurses to give me my backpack out of my bag because I decided I need to go ahead and clean it out. Like there's stuff in my bag from like 4 weeks ago, like from like the day I got there. Like I haven't gone through the bag, I haven't cleaned it out. And so I'm going through the bag, I'm throwing things away, like I'm, trying to make the bag clean because there's stuff I'm gonna be able to take home because I'm being charged for it, or my insurance is being charged for it. And in the process of that, like I have my backpack is like a main body, a little zippered pouch on the front, and 2 little like elastic netted pouches on the side. As I'm looking at my bag, like in the side, my side pockets, one side I keep some gum, and the other side I keep one of my chewable medications, lip balm, and lotion, a little bottle of lotion. And I put my hand on the side of the bag, and I feel something metal.
All right.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And as I touch it, that's a lie. I didn't say what the fuck is this. As I touched it, I knew exactly what it was. And I was
Yeah, I
frustrated.
was gonna say,
I was frustrated immediately.
as you
So
should
now,
be.
so now I have my glasses, and now I can fucking see.
Uh,
And then I start looking around, like, where's my, like, oh, if I'm not mistaken, I think, like, the next day, the next day, I'm looking for my, like, when I got there, the next day, I'm looking for my glasses and my cane, and I can't find either. So, like, I've been without my glasses for, like, 3 or 4 days. They left my cane in Poplar Bluff.
did you get it back?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, I immediately called, like, I texted Nick, and I was like, yo, I need you to do me a favor. Because he was like, yeah, I was going to be in Caruthersville anyway. And I was like, I need you to go by the hospital, and whenever you go to, like, come to the Ville, just bring my cane. Now, mind you, if I lived alone, I'd have been fucked. Because my house key is on my cane. I don't carry keys. I don't have keys. I don't drive. And, like, there's always somebody at my house. So I don't ever really need a reason to have my keys, or have keys, period. So, like, my cane I took with me no matter where I went. So I felt the best place to put the key was on my cane.
Because I'm guessing you
So,
don't carry like a lanyard or anything anymore. So
no, I don't have a reason to. So, like,
exactly.
so, like, but no, Nick had it, like, it was back at the house, like, well before I got home. Um, and so, like, I got my cane back. I did lose one necklace. before I went into the OR, like in Poplar Bluff, I took all my necklaces off. I took my rings off. I put them in a bag. I put them in a thing, and then put the thing in my backpack. But like I had a cross that used to belong to my grandmother, and I think I wore it during the surgery because it was so small. Like it's on like a nylon string with like plastic clasps, and it's like and it sits kind of high up on my throat. Like it doesn't choke me, but it's pretty high up. So I figured it'd be out of the way. But they decided to take it off, and I don't remember if they gave it to me in the OR or what. I have no idea where it went, and I have decided that it was merely a totem of undying. Like I can't stress y'all enough that like as far as I'm concerned, God, Jesus was there, like every step of the way. And I know like the person I'm talking to is not really, doesn't really believe in that stuff. I mean that's fine because I'm not like when I tell you like Jesus was in that OR when I passed out because in theory I should have fucking died. Like I had time, like you know of not breathing, but in theory I probably should have fucking died. When I pulled that goddamn tube out of my throat, that could have been a real bad time. Now, mind you, I was hooked up to all kinds of monitors, and shit would have went off when I pulled it out. But for those people to be directly outside the door, Mark, it's almost like if your fucking house caught on fire, and as you were trying to like escape the smoke, a goddamn fire engine pulled up in front of your house. Like I
They
can't.
were just chilling for some reason.
Well, no, they were driving down the road, like they were just happening to be passing by. Like they were so fucking close by. Like the damage wasn't done. There was no damage done. Yes, there was a fire, but most of the house was salvageable. Like you know, it was some cosmetic damage, but the house wasn't burned down simply because the right people were in the right place. And that's how I look at this. Like I can't stress to people enough. Like that's what happened to me. Like Jesus was like, yeah, he's gonna have a bad one. I had been talking to a nurse, my health advocate, about third spacing and about like getting me to see a doctor that could help remove the extra fluid. And I feel like Jesus was like, that's gonna take too long. And he's like, let me just go ahead and like my ways work. But it's gonna be a little terrifying. And like, and I will say again that like I didn't die. There was never a point where I died. There was never a point where I died. Like I don't think I was ever like in danger of dying. I wasn't at home. I wasn't in like a car ride. I wasn't somewhere with my friends. I was in an OR where they are prepped for you to stop breathing. I was in a hospital room with a tube in my throat. And
So in general, like, I didn't really think about this part, but like, if you hadn't been in the OR or whatever when the fluid thing happened, would that just happen while you're at house?
Unlikely, because I don't sleep on my back. Like even now, like I don't sleep on my back. I sleep on my stomach. So like, would it have happened? No. Like it's possible I could have like laid over on my back in my sleep, but most likely what would have happened was my inability to breathe would have woken me up, kind of like sleep paralysis, and I would have rolled over. But, and like that's me like explaining that because I've experienced this for quite some time now. So like yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what would have happened. I'm not making any I'm not saying for certain, but I don't think that like it would have happened like that because I was on my back for a while in the OR. Like not like an hour or so,
didn't have the
but
luxury to be like, like I need to do this thing.
Yeah, I didn't have the free range to reposition myself. I had to be flat on my back. And like yeah, so when I extubated myself, no, I like the odds of me dying were like probably really, really slim. Like I might have passed out because like the medicine that was still in my system probably would have made me fall asleep, and again I was on my back. So I probably would have had low oxygen, but most likely what would have ended up happening was it would have started to alarm. Somebody would have called called some people who could do some shit, and like I would have been okay. But that's not me saying like Jesus wasn't there, that God didn't have my back. He put me where I needed to be to get me to do better. And so the time I spent in St. Louis, it was pretty cool. It got to the point where I was very much ready to go home. And that's usually what happens, I think, like with extended stays in hospitals, because when you get there, you usually don't feel good, and then like they do something to make you feel better, and then you start to feel better, and then eventually you feel normal, and they're still holding you, and you're now ready to go home. And that's what happened. I was ready to go home after a certain point because I was just kind of done. This is the I'm gonna wrap this up here in like the next like 5 minutes or so. There was this lady. Her name is Erica. She was a nurse at the hospital. She was I call her Pop Tarts because we ended up having her and Jordan ended up having a very interesting conversation about what's the best flavor of Pop Tart, and it was great. Like Jordan being there was like fucking amazing because like with my friends around, I can be a bit more open, and I can be a bit more free, and I can be a little bit more silly and goofy. And because he was there, I was able to talk to, like, she clearly, like, she was like, yeah, it's usually kind of boring here. She openly was like, yeah, it looks like y'all are having more fun than us. It's like her station was like right outside my room. Like literally there's like this big ass window. And like the thing I thought was so strange was like, even if I wanted to get sleep, because like toward the end, I stopped sleeping. Like I just did. I just stopped going to sleep. And even like nurses were like, do you never sleep? I was like, I'll sleep when I'm home. Like, but like there's a window. Like it has curtains in case you need to shit. But there's a window that like the nurse sits at behind her like computer and stuff, that so she can see you. And there's a light on the entire night. So like even if you wanted to go to sleep, you kinda couldn't. Like just straight up, you kinda fucking couldn't. Because there's a light in your face. They could have moved the bed. That was always an option. But then she probably, she could see you. But yeah, I didn't think about that. But no, Erica, she was awesome. I don't want to say anything. Like the thing I'm about to say is going to sound negative, but it's not negative. It's just an observation. She came off as somebody who definitely has like a very like small personality. She talked really softly. Like she came off as somebody like in my heart. Like even Jordan agreed, like at home in like a non-professional setting, she's probably incredibly boring. And honestly, there ain't nothing wrong with that. She had a kid at home. She has a 2-year-old son. I don't know why I'm telling y'all her business. And she had a fiance. So she's allowed to be boring because it's working for her. You know what I mean? There was another lady who was this Hispanic lady. Her name was Amelia. I liked Amelia a lot. Jordan asked me who was my favorite nurse, and I told him it was probably Amelia. And the reason for that is because I have a soft spot for people who don't speak English fluently. And Amelia spoke good English. Very, very, very good English. But the thing was, she like clearly like, I don't know if you've ever experienced this with non-native English speakers, but she did this thing where like she would tell you something, but would kind of continue to say it over and over. Like at least like she'd say it once and then kind of say it again to like make sure you understand what she's trying to tell you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And it's almost like she wouldn't stop until you said, okay, I got it. And like she gave me a bath one night because like fucking Jay, Patch, and like Elsie I think came by. And like it was very strange because suddenly I started smelling something. I smelled like I stanked. I didn't stink. I didn't stunk. I stanked. And like I felt bad because like my friends are here and Jordan's like yeah you funky, you need to be cleaned up. But like it was like he's like, well fucking you're not like in control of this right now. It'd be different if you were at home and you stank. Like but like and I told Amelia like yo like I gotta get cleaned up because I smelled bad. And this woman like biohazard suited up to fucking to give me a bath, and she gave me a straight up like all the way cleaning. And I found it interesting because there was this like this African lady, and like she was informed that like she needed to get me cleaned up, and she was cleaning my penis area. And like this wasn't the same
Uh-huh.
night. This is like I think before this, and I think they were telling her like, yeah, he needs a bath, like he needs to be cleaned all the way up. And I remember her cleaning my groin area, I'll call it. And I told her like, you could turn the light on, and she's like, no, that's okay. And I was like, I don't blame you.
So that's her.
Like, yeah, that's fair. And I remember when Amelia was giving me a bath, not a bath, when she was cleaning me up, and she was cleaning my groin area, and she got to my penis. I remember this feeling like my penis retracted and tied itself in a knot. I don't know how to explain that. Like I don't know how to explain it any better than that. Like when she went for the area, like my body curled inside of itself. And one of the things I learned while I was in the hospital was like I don't like being touched. Because there was this moment when Pop Tarts, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and she had to get some blood work, and like I'm just a notoriously hard stick. Apparently, I have very thick skin, and it makes maneuvering the needle very difficult. And like they could see the vein in my arm, but whenever they would go for it, they couldn't find it. They just couldn't poke it. And so there was this point where she was waiting for somebody to come back to help her, and she put her hand on my arm, and she kind of like rubbed the area where the vein was with her thumb, and was just kind of caressing my arm. And I remember thinking to myself as I looked at her hand, I thought, not out loud, mind you, what the fuck are you doing? And like I wanted to snatch my arm away, but I was trying. I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to make it seem obvious that she like had crossed a boundary. But it was in that moment as I thought to myself, what the fuck is she doing? I was like, oh, I guess I really don't like being touched. Like I don't like if I don't see it coming, or if I don't know you, and you just like take a liberty to like caress me, I will be freaked out. Don't do that. I don't know you. Please stop touching me. Eventually, yeah, I started doing shit that I probably shouldn't have been doing. Cause like one night I had Jordan bring sushi one day. I had Jordan went and got like several nights I bought us a meal. Like one night I bought a Subway. I had him get me some sushi because I hadn't had sushi in a long time. And then the last night I was there, we had a pizza party. Like he went to Domino's. I ordered way too much food, and like yeah, we ate because like without all that excess fluid, like like taking up space in my abdomen, my stomach, including my intestines, were free to do what they're supposed to do. My stomach was like full of space. Like it had, my stomach was empty, and it was empty. So I was getting to the point where I got hungry. I starved, and I was able to shit like a king again. Like I was shitting. I was like if you're a poop fanatic, like hit me up on the socials, and I will tell you the gory details about these massive shits I was taking. And that was another thing about being in the hospital that fucking sucked. Like I was just happy that by the time I got there, I was able to clean myself. Like, cause in another hospital I couldn't wipe my ass, but at this hospital I had gotten to the point where I was able to like wipe myself. Like it was really weird. At the other hospital, like just like standing up and positioning onto the bedside commode, I would get lightheaded. Like it was very weird. But at this by the time I got to St. Louis, it was fine. Cause I was like, and it had to be because I could not imagine like Pop Tarts. I can't stress to y'all enough. Pop Tarts was incredibly attractive. Like I'm pretty sure she's mixed with black and white. Almost positive. If not, then she just is a mocha colored black lady. And like the idea of her wiping my ass kill me. Like I realized that she was like, no, I'm gonna go to nurse. I'm gonna go to school to be a nurse, and she understands. Like it's like I had to go to the bathroom. Like usually that's what sent Jordan home. Was like I was holding in a shit, and I was like, I got to the point where I was like, yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom, and it was like, all right, well that's the end of the night. Like I get at you tomorrow. That's just how it went down. And so like there were multiple times where this lady had to take this fucking elephant, this severed elephant trunk that I left behind in this fucking thing, and like dispose of it. And I was just like, I hate this. Like this shit sucks. Also, like I learned how much I appreciate being able to flush my shit instead of having to sit in the room with it. Like since I've been home, I give myself a courtesy flush whenever I go to the bathroom. And that's kind of it. Like eventually, I bought shorts. Literally the pair of shorts that I got, like the first ones I got. Like these are some great shorts. Like these shorts are fucking comfortable as fuck. I love these shorts. Like I might send you the link on Amazon. I'm down to a 3X. These bitches are comfortable as fuck. Uh, all kind of dark colors, but there was a pair of camo shorts. That was the first pair I wore, and I re-wore them this past week. And again, incredibly comfortable, zippered pockets on the side. I don't know, like I just happened to find, like I'm probably gonna order more. If I'm being honest with you, I'm probably gonna order more. But yeah, that was it. Come Wednesday, they were like, hey, like Tuesday, they were like, hey, we sent you home like early Wednesday morning. Do you think we could take you directly to your dialysis clinic so that you could get treatment? And I was like, probably, but please don't do that. I was like, I'm naked and I stink. I do not want to be there for 4 hours. Like, I want to go home and wash my balls. And I want to put on some, like, regular clothes. Because the clothes, I had a shirt in my bag. Because, I came from the clinic. So I had clothes. So I had a shirt in my bag. And I was like, I'd like to wear some clean clothes when I go to the clinic. And also I need food when I go to the clinic. Because I can't go there without any food. I tried. Like,
As a weird aside, do you think there's anyone on any hospital staff who has ever cleaned you as clean as you can ever feel when you clean yourself?
no.
No, they just are too afraid to get up in there, or they just.
Well, here's the thing. At home, I use toilet paper. In the
Oh,
hospital, they use wipes. So it's not like a dry wipe. It is always a wet wipe. So like they're cleaning you fairly well, but like yeah, cause I get in there. I clean myself when I clean myself. So yeah, that no, no, and that's not to say that they don't
no.
do a good. They don't try to do a good job. Simply like it's it's kind of like when you masturbate. Like sometimes masturbation is a better nut than fucking because like you know exactly
Yeah.
what you're doing. It's just like that. But no. Um I eventually got my shorts because I had gotten to a point where I was just walking around naked because the gown was hot and like I didn't have like a they gave me this little battery powered fan and I thought that it was the lady because I told like one lady like I'm really hot and like it was like the AC hadn't kicked in and like the bed was directly in the sunlight and so she gave me this fan. I thought it was like her personal little desk fan, but no, the hospital has like these on deck for people who need like extra air, and I ended up getting two of them. I didn't keep the second one because before I knew that they were like complimentary of the hospital, I went on Amazon and found one and bought one for the house. I thought they were like USB rechargeables. Nah, they use D cell batteries. So like I'm probably going to invest in some rechargeable D cells or some kind of thing that like converts like a battery terminal into like something you can just plug in.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm pretty sure those exist. Um,
At this point, they should.
yeah, but at the very least I can get some rechargeable D cells. So I got one, but like, so I had two in the hospital. And they was like, you want to take this one home? And I was just like, nah, that's just greedy. Like I already have one, and then I have another one at home. I don't need three of the fuckers. Um, but yeah, so the last night, they were like, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do your dialysis early Wednesday morning, and by early they meant 1 o'clock in the morning. And so the lady shows up at 1 o'clock. They do my treatment. I couldn't stop farting through the entire treatment. Again, because my intestines were able to like do their thing, I was able to pass gas again like normally. And I don't know why those are some dank toots. Those toots were dankety dank. And the lady was like in a chair
Just
behind me.
fermented.
Like she was in a chair behind me, and I did everything I could to hold these farts back, and I couldn't hold them back. Like they were quiet too. It wasn't like I was like just like blowing ass in the room. They were just like slipping out, and there was nothing I could do about it. It was fucking depressing. I have cut this into 4 parts at some point. I know I have. I just don't know if it was a clean edit. But whatever. So yeah, we had our pizza party. It wasn't intentional. The lady came and did my dialysis, and they were like, yeah, so around 10 o'clock in the morning, they're gonna relieve. They're gonna like, we're gonna have an ambulance come pick you up, and I didn't know it was gonna be an ambulance. But just as my luck was, there was like a bad storm brewing. Like we had, I think the area was under a thunderstorm watch, like a severe thunderstorm watch. They have protocol they had to follow. They had to come into my room and take everything off the the window shelves. They were like, hey, if something happens, like the protocol is like you come out into the hallway or whatever. Like we'll help you out into the hallway, yada yada yada. And so they were supposed to come get me at 10 o'clock. The ambulance did not show up until almost 3 o'clock. So I got all my stuff ready, and I'm just waiting, effectively, just waiting. And the thing that was weird was, I eventually had to go to the bathroom. So the lady, they get the toilet ready for me to use, and she's like, "Do you need help getting up?" And I was like, "No, I got it." She's like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Because if you fall, you stay." Little did she know I had failed twice. One morning, I was getting out of bed because I was just gonna like move over to the chair, and as I like swung my legs out, and I think I didn't have my grippy socks on, my foot just slipped out from
Mhm.
under me, and I didn't fall and hit the floor, but I did fall, I did get to a position where I was basically crouched on the floor, and I had to get up and reposition myself. The second time I fell all the way to the floor because I had gotten to the point where I would sit on the side of the bed, lay back, grab the rail on the other side of the bed, and pull myself up. I pull myself into the bed because my legs still weren't really doing their job, and the bed was kind of shit. But what ended up happening was my fucking hand just slipped, and I just straight went down. Nobody saw. Not a fucking soul saw.
Mhm.
I sat there on the floor for a minute. I was caught my breath, which wasn't really hard to do, and then I just stood up. I got on my knees, stood up, and I think I sat back in the chair. I was like, well, I probably should do that again, but I don't remember. So yeah, we're getting so I'm in the ambulance. They're finally there. I get in the we they take me down to the ambulance. We get in the ambulance. It's wet outside. It's muggy. And this is effectively the last thing that happened of any worthwhile note. I wasn't listening to music while I was waiting because my headphones were dying. The charger was not working with my headphones anymore. I think somebody probably stepped on it while I was on the floor. It's whatever. So my phone is fully charged, my headphones aren't. So my plan is well, I'll just wait until we're in the ambulance and I'll just listen to music on the ride home. I don't know what happened. I got in the ambulance. We were on the. We eventually got on the road. I remember we made it out of St. Louis, and this is what happened. Clearly this is not what actually happened, but this is what happened as far as I'm aware, as far as I'm concerned. I was laying on the ambulance on the stretcher inside the ambulance. I stood up, turned back to myself, and said, "Hey, I'll be right back." And then I walked away. And then sometime later, I came back. And I looked down at myself and I was like, oh, damn, he done fell asleep. And then I sat on the bench next to the stretcher in the ambulance, mind you, on the highway, fucking moving. And as I saw myself waking up, I was like, okay, he's waking up. I sat back into my body. And as I woke up, I was like, what the fuck was that?
Which I mean, that's fair.
And so I just started listening to music because I didn't have time to think about this shit. Did not. Um, as it stands right now, my legs still really don't work that well. I miss. I grossly underestimated how difficult it would be to to like re to to get the strength in my legs back. Like I completely misunderstood like how difficult this would be. I've been using my mom's power chair that she doesn't use anyway, like to go to dialysis because like the first week I got back, like I looked like a baby deer trying to walk. Like my thighs, my legs would just shake like when I stood up. It's gotten slightly better. And I've been paranoid about like gaining the fluid back. But since I've been home, like the first week I was home, it wasn't so bad. But like I can definitely tell that like the fluid's coming back, and I don't necessarily know why. Um, like I told you last night, like I am on a diuretic, and diuretics kind of only work.
Hmm.
They work better when you drink water, and I can openly say that I don't drink as much water as I used to. Um, I just don't. Like I used to have like I don't know if y'all like a bottle of Simply. I have like I have two bottles of Simply in the fridge, in the freezer, that are just frozen. And I used to like pull one of those out and just drink that shit. Like just let that melt throughout the day and drink that shit. And so like when the renal failure shit started, I stopped doing that because my kidneys aren't working. Um, I don't drink. I don't eat a lot of salt, but I think it's possible that like because when I was in the hospital, like nothing was really different. I was drinking water as I wanted. I was clearly like eating out. Like I like nothing was different. I didn't regain any of the fluid there. So I'm thinking it's possible that like there might be like a difference in the medication. It might be like something at home. Because I just really don't have a clue. But I've been talking to one of my nurses about at the clinic about like what I'm experiencing. I have a doctor's appointment coming this Tuesday. I'm gonna do the best I can with what little I have because like before I was in the hospital, where I'm sitting right now, like it did not make my feet and my feet and hands swell by being in this position. Like I'm not a squatted position, but it's almost a squatted position. Like with my feet flat on the floor, my leg is at an acute angle. Like I'm not sitting high up in the air, but like being sat for too long, like I do like start to retain. I can tell that I'm retaining fluid when I go lay down. Like the fluid, like it's almost like my heart isn't pumping it's look, that's hopefully a story that I never need to tell. Hopefully we figure out what's going on and we can figure that shit out. Because like the first week or so I was there, like I got back, everything was okay. And I can openly tell you, like I like last weekend, I went overboard with like trying to watch my fluid, and I almost drank no fluid. Bad fucking idea because I didn't pee hardly because I wasn't really drinking because I've been so paranoid about all this shit happening again, which I feel is fair. And I've told
Yeah,
the nurse,
very fair.
yeah, and I told the nurses, yeah, that's what's going on. Like I'm really fucking, like I'm just really paranoid about this happening again. So I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure that it doesn't. And like it is what it is. So, um, but yeah, that was the story of me not almost dying, but that is the story of the fluid. That's the fluid overload story. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, 2 full weeks. Um, yeah, that was it.
It's also like why like you never noticed this as an audience
Like,
because
yeah,
again he was backlogged all
I
the
was,
way.
yeah, I was so fucking backlogged. I had videos coming out the week after I got home. Like, it was almost like again, everything falls into position. Like, I decided to record those extra episodes because I wanted to try to record on my own. I wanted to get back
Yeah.
to learning how to do this shit by myself without relying on somebody to be here. And because of that, I had a month's worth of videos like going like not only recorded and edited but uploaded. Like I had time to do nothing, and I apparently, without knowing, I needed that time. And so like here we are now. Um, my breathing I can say a major difference is like now I'm definitely like I use my oxygen at home because beforehand I wasn't using it. As far as like respiratory therapists, respiratory doctors go, pulmonologists go, they don't know why I need oxygen because I had a lung study done like a year or so ago, and like he was like, yeah, on paper your lungs are fine. Like there's no reason for you to like for your O2 to be as low as it is, but it is. And so like there ain't really much we can do about it. There just really isn't. Like life is very strange. I live in a very poor part of Missouri, and like getting help is very difficult. Like very difficult. And just I don't know. But yeah, that's my story. Um I don't know if anybody cares. But like if you're related to me and you're a friend and you didn't know what happened, that's what happened. So again, shout out to Ricky in Poplar Bluff, and shout out to Amelia and Erica, aka Pop Tarts, up in St. Louis. Um, not that they were the only ones I cared about, but they were the only ones whose names I remember, because a lot of the people I saw, like I saw them before I had my glasses, so I couldn't see their fucking name tags. Cause I was like, God,
Like they all
why?
mattered, but these are the ones
Yeah,
that you knew.
everybody matters, but the ones that I liked the most, not for any specific reason. Was yeah, cause like, and I think it's mostly because like I saw them at night when Jay was there, and so like I was able to have a little bit more fun. I was able to be a bit more free, and that's most likely just all it is. Because everybody else I saw during the day, um, and if anybody wondering about that cup that the Indian dude gave me, or the Arab dude gave me, I don't know what his nationality was, but he had a slight accent, so I think he probably came over here. I still have it. It's in the fridge. It's in the fridge full of water, I think, right now. So yeah. So I hope somebody enjoyed this. I hope this was a way. At the very least, Mark was informed because he didn't know the majority of this shit. He knew nothing.
Nah.
Uh, yeah, but that's it. Get out.